What's up, guys? It's Lefty here, back with another video, and I'll be breaking down some of the Week 9 NFL games. And just like that, Week 9, more than half the season is in the books. We have 6 teams on byes this week: the Browns, Giants, Steelers, Broncos, Cowboys, and 49ers all have bye weeks. In this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on some of the games, some of the spots I'm looking at. I already have 4 official best bets that are posted in the Discord community, which up until just a couple days ago has always been a private Discord, but you can now join by clicking the link in the description below this video. And now I'll warn you first, this is not your typical Discord. This is a sports educational Discord. I have over 80 different sports betting lessons on various topics. I have betting calculators and tools available. You're not going to find any 100-unit whale play picks of the year. That's all nonsense stuff to lure new inexperienced bettors into buying picks. I actually started this Discord to actually combat all these fakes and frauds out there that are basically scamming, new bettors, selling them picks when they themselves, can't even pick winners or win betting sports. Winning money betting sports is something very few people can actually do. But let's get right into the games. How about that? First one up, right at the top of the board, New England Patriots are hosting the Colts. And, this line opened Patriots minus 6.5. Now, Monday night, Tuesday morning, a betting group took Indy plus 6.5 and plus 6, wiped out all the 6s off the board. And it looks like between sharp money and the steam chasers, this number kept dropping. And actually on Thursday night, 2 sharp books, Pinnacle and Circa, had the Patriots at minus 4.5. So there was definitely respected money coming in on the Colts. And then Friday morning, Jonathan Taylor officially announced out. And the Patriots are right back up to 6. I was confused by the Colts early betting support because, I expected the Colts running back Jonathan Taylor to not play or, definitely not be 100%. He wasn't practicing all week. They traded backup running back there, the kid Hines. And I made the Patriots minus 7 in this game here. And I should have bet them when I saw 5 or minus 5 all week. Plus, how can anyone trust the Colts right now, with running back and offensive line injuries? And the Colts coming off such a tough loss last week to Washington. Colts just fired their offensive coordinator this week, basically as a way to, blame him for their issues. Who always has to be a scapegoat. I thought it was going to be Matt Ryan after he was benched for the new starter now, quarterback Sam Ellinger. The Colts are the only team in the league to be behind in the fourth quarter at one point in every game this season. So even the games they've won, they were losing at one point in the fourth quarter. It's a pretty amazing stat there. Now, I bet the Colts last week, and it was exactly what I expected it to be, basically a playoff game atmosphere. With their season really on the lines. Crowd, stadium was rocking, the intensity, the defense showed up, it was all there, but the Colts fumbled twice in the red zone, one of them being at the 1-yard line. And, how do the Colts bounce back from a loss like that? And then we start to see, market showing support for the Colts, getting sharp money, bet down from 6 to 4.5. Backing Sam Ellinger on the road with Bill Belichick, who owns all young quarterbacks. Bill harasses them, forces them into mistakes, unless you're, Justin Fields and can run like Michael Vick. But, this is a tough one here. The Colts defense is getting healthy. They have some key pieces back. especially up front. And the Patriots offensively, not really a reliable offense, more of a run-oriented offense. Could possibly look towards an underplay here. The total is already low now, around 40.5. But I definitely lean under here if I had to bet this game. I only live less than an hour away from Gillette Stadium where this game will be played. Weather looks like we could see some crosswinds here of 13 to 14 miles per hour. And we all know, or we all should know by now, wind is the single biggest weather factor that suppresses scoring. But we'll move right along here. Buffalo at New York Jets. And we have another double-digit home underdog spot here. Talked a lot about this on Thursday night with Eagles and the Texans. This line opened Bills minus 10.5 or minus 11, depending on which book. It got bet up to 13 pretty quickly, and now it's back down to 11.5. I don't personally make too much of these type of line moves because it's in that like dead zone of numbers of 11 and 12. Of course, we always want the best possible number, but unless I start to see numbers cross those key numbers like 14, 10, 7, or 3, I'm not overly concerned. And 80% of line moves are injury related. And that's exactly what we have here with the current line movement. It's all based on injury reports from both sides, mostly with Buffalo injuries on defense, is what has this line kind of in limbo. Trey White, Bills stud defensive back, he might make his return. He's listed as day-to-day. But Bills starting safety, Rachel Bush's boyfriend, has an elbow injury. He said he heard a pop last game. He might miss this game. This is Jordan Poyer's girlfriend and baby mother. I think they're actually married now. I'm not sure about that. But if I'm Jordan Poyer, I'm probably staying home and rest up with Rachel. But Poyer has heart. Guy's a total gamer. A couple weeks ago, doctors didn't medically clear him to fly on a plane. So he drove 15-something hours to the game and played in it anyway. He was probably with Rachel, so it's not too bad. But the injury list for the Bills doesn't end there. Linebacker Matt Milano, defensive end Von Miller, they're also questionable, didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. The Buffalo defense keeps getting better, and you got to wonder if rushing any of these guys back is smart versus the Jets. Because remember, they're not worried about covering a double-digit spread. They just need to get in and get out with a win. But Buffalo does love beating down on those divisional foes. For all those times that they were on the other end of it. And it kind of reminds me of a song lyric, actually. What is it? Like, I want it all now for all the times I didn't have it, or something like that. I think it's Little Baby or NBA Youngboy. I don't know. But Jets have key injuries of their own. Losing starting guard Vera Tucker, now running back Breece Hall, both to injury reserve. Those are two injuries that really matter. Wilson is the worst quarterback in the league when facing pressure, and Bills, when healthy, can get pressure with just their front four. But really, this is, put up or shut up time for Zach Wilson. Likely won't be involved here, but this situation where we have a quad D, I call it. If you were betting in the early 2000s, you know what a quad D is. A double-digit divisional dog always brings back memories. Pre-2010, it was gold. It was a rare spot, but it won, it seemed, every time I bet them. I'll have to check on the actual record, but those quad Ds, double-digit divisional dogs, won me a lot of money back in the day. Unfortunately, those days are long gone. Odds makers caught up to it. And now in the last 10 years, quad Ds are just like a 50% spot. I think it's 85 and 86 with 6 pushes. But we will move right along here. Let's look at the Miami-Chicago game. Miami minus 4.5. Basically been stuck there all week. I'm involved in the total, and I made a best bet, which on this game, and I posted it in the Betting Network Discord community. Link to join, again, is in the description below this video. My line for this game has Miami minus 3.5 points, but Miami's a tricky team to rate because when you rate a team, you have to take all numbers from all games into account, even when Tua is not on the field. But when Tua is the starter or on the field, Miami's 5-0 and has the best red zone offense. I bet Miami last week because I didn't think the market had correctly adjusted enough for this. And that was a big reason why I bet them last week. Now, as you can see, I have Miami rated slightly better than an average team. 0 being an average team, Miami at 0.25 points better than average. And some members in the Discord community, mainly Darian, think it's way too low. They have 5 wins, but I let the advanced metrics and analytics work out all that, all the numbers. I trust my ratings 100%. And, let's see what the market thinks here by using some comparables. After all, they're the professionals, the market, the odds makers. Last week, Miami closed as minus 3.5 point road favorites to Detroit. As it looks now, Miami should close around 4.5 point favorites versus Chicago. Well, the Dallas Cowboys, they played the Bears and Lions in back-to-back weeks. Dallas was minus 9.5 point favorites versus Chicago and minus 7.5 versus the Lions. That's a pretty big difference. And as you can see here on the screen, I have Dallas rated just over a field goal better than Miami. So I think I have Miami rated spot on here. Now, Miami is good at what the public thinks makes a team good or what they like to see. Miami's passing offense is one of the best in the league, but they rate out in the bottom third of the league in run offense. They can't run the ball, and I think in this game, the run game is going to be a factor with weather forecasts calling for double-digit winds and maybe even some rainy, wet field conditions. Tua outdoors, throwing into the wind against a Bears team that just really all they want to do is run and slow the tempo, play keep away. Even when the Bears are down 2 scores, their run rate doesn't really change too much. Soldier Field, where the Bears play, their field gets pretty nasty after rain or any type of weather conditions. The field just gets chewed up. I don't like the Dolphins up north, and the Bears D-line is solid. Above average in QB pressure rate, as we can see here. Opposing quarterbacks leave a game playing the Bears with an 80.3 QB rating. Miami's also the most penalized team in the league. By the way, all this stuff on the screen here, all this data, is available in the Betting Network Discord community. It's the Week 9 Power Ratings Google Doc, and I have pretty much everything in here from EPA ratings, my power ratings. Has a lot of helpful info. You can join the Discord with the invite link in the description below. But back to the game here. Bears are actually getting better in my opinion. That's tough to say after giving up 49 points to Dallas, but there's some things we can take away from that box score that I like. Even giving up that many points, still Bears are league average in yards per point on defense. Bears got, they got heart, they fight. I'm not sure how much fight they have in them after the recent moves the Bears made at the trade deadline. The Bears just lost two massive leaders on the defensive side. Last week they trade away defensive end Robert Quinn, who just set the Bears' single-season sack record last year. Then a couple days ago they traded their defensive captain Roquan Smith. Two like big, locker room guys, big part of the leadership on the team's defense. After the Quinn trade, Bears go up and give up almost 50 points to Dallas, allowed 7.5 yards per play. Now Roquan Smith is gone. This is going to be an interesting to kind of see how this defense reacts. And the Miami defense is spotty. They let the Lions go up and down the field on them, but then their defense pitches a shutout in the second half against the Lions. And I have two notes on this game. One of it is for you player prop guys. I have a league-wide situational system too I want to share. But first, the Bears got Chase Claypool in a trade, and he was up and already practicing by Wednesday and Thursday for the Bears. So typically guys who are traded at the deadline like this don't see much playing time for the first week with new team, but might see some usage rate out of him that's more than normal. He'll definitely be the best wide receiver the Bears QB Justin Fields has ever had. Steelers used Claypool in a bunch of different ways, so big addition for the Bears offense, but again, might not be ideal throwing conditions either, but wanted to mention that if anyone sees Claypool props numbers a bit off. Now, lastly, a historical league-wide trend. And when you have a team that was trailing by double digits at halftime in their previous game, like Miami was 27-17, and come back and win like Miami did last week versus Detroit. Since 2012, that team that came back and won is only 38% against the spread in their next game. When you add in that team being on the road like Miami is, it goes down to 28% against the spread. I just wanted to add that in there. I have thousands of trends and systems, and once in a while one catches my eye and wanted to bring that one up. So Miami facing a pretty big disadvantage with a historical trend there. Next one up here, we got Vikings at Redskins. I refuse to call them the Commodores. Look-ahead line showed Minnesota -2.5. Road favorites opened up Monday -3, got bet up as high as 4 at some books, and now it looks like it's settled back down at 3. Washington's one of those teams that's been getting sharp support in recent weeks. Last week they got some late sharp action, sharp money. Now this week, sharp money. I've been trying to figure out why or how. I don't really get it. I have, what do I have the Vikings rated at? I think I have them, I want to say either 4.5 or 5. Minnesota -5. I have the Vikings -5. The perception, or the bet, what the betting public sees is a Washington team that's had 5 different quarterbacks to start the last 5 years. I think I read something like they've had 26 different starting quarterbacks in the last 15 years or something crazy like that. But I like Heineke. I don't think I'm adjusting enough for him. And I'm telling you, Taylor Heineke brings a different team chemistry and Wide receiver Terry McLaurin and the running back there Gibson talked about it in the post-game press conferences, giving him all the props for the win last week. Washington was trailing twice in the fourth quarter, and Heineke brought them back on game-winning drives, and that's only possible when you have players who have confidence and are kind of buying in to the system instead of just saying, fuck it, we lost. Defensively, Washington, is a really good front seven. And speaking of that, there's some big concerns for the Minnesota defensive line. But Minnesota, I mean, 6-1 now. They've won 5 straight. They do all the little things well, especially late in games. No penalties, no turnovers late. They're winning the turnover battle. Vikings have 13 takeaways this year. Now, their advanced metrics aren't great, but those are the teams you get discounts on the betting line, opposite of teams like the Bills and Eagles and other teams with similar records. Those other teams have inflated lines. A longtime member of the Discord community, Tuck, he brought it up in the Discord this week about betting the Vikings to win the NFC at almost like 2-1 odds or something crazy, or maybe it was a Super Bowl, I think. But either way, those are some pretty good odds that'll give you some opportunities to maybe lock in profit later in the season, in my opinion. And, I've said this before about the Vikings, or really any team who start to see a pattern of they're getting big leads and not protecting them, letting other teams creep back in at the end of games. Having big leads with final scores looking like close games, same thing with Baltimore. You can look at it two ways, good or bad. The good way is, the team is talented and can get big leads in the first place. They have skilled position players who make big plays, jump out early to big leads. The bad part is they get content. They lay down a little. Defense starts to lose its intensity. It's however you want to look at it, really. But I like many. The betting market doesn't agree, and that scares me because it means I'm going against bettors who, the odds makers respect. And this is a big part of what I do in the Betting Network Discord community is market analysis, using line movements and finding patterns to identify where sharp money is being bet. This is the deeper side of betting. Yeah, it's good to know all the players, teams, and stats, but that's only going to get you so far. Reading the market correctly is taking the next step, and, that's joining the Discord community. I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do another couple videos, maybe just on primetime games, or discuss some of the games I have best bets on. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but either way, hopefully you guys found some of this info helpful, and hope to earn a like or a thumbs up, or even subscribe to the channel. But until next time, good luck with all your bets, and as always, may all the refs' calls and all the loose balls go your way.